WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The Lowndes County Board of Supervisors is the latest local government to announce restrictions in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. In a special called meeting this afternoon, the board passed an ordinance that mirrors one passed by the Columbus City Council over the weekend. One difference: in the county, all recreational buildings are forced to close at this time. Recreational facilities such as walking tracks will remain open. Limits are on gatherings to no more than 10 people, and dining inside restaurants is no longer allowed. Non-essential businesses such as child care facilities and hair salons have to close until further notice. 6 cases of the coronavirus have been confirmed in Lowndes County.
We can't cure it right now, but we can slow it down. And the reason we need to do that is because there are not enough hospital beds and ventilators in our county to take care of the people if more than 30 or 40 of them need to be on ventilators. We just don't have the room for it, so we need to slow it down.
There's also a new curfew in effect from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. No one can be out unless it's for essential travel and must be over the age of 18. The ordinance carries a fine of $1,000 per day or spend up to 90 days in jail. Essential businesses include hospitals, gas stations, and pharmacies, and they are excluded from this ordinance. These changes go into effect tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Columbus City leaders put their curfew in place over the weekend, and there have been some questions from folks about the provisions, particularly what constitutes essential travel. Police Chief Fred Shelton says traveling to work to pick up food, to buy groceries are considered essential travel. The chief says the new curfew is in place to prevent large gatherings late at night.
Our officers are going to use common sense too. Okay, we're going to look at it and we're going to evaluate the system. If you have an essential need to go somewhere, we're not going to stop you. Okay, excuse me, sir. Oh, I was on my way up here to the store to get some milk for my baby, or get some popcorn and watch TV. That's fine. Again, we're going to use, but if you're out, well, I just want to see what was going on, or you didn't have a legitimate reason to be out, then of course we're going to take action.
Shelton says CPD has had 2 cases of people calling and making false claims about someone having the coronavirus. The chief says, a person can be charged with giving a false police report. Encourages people to make sure their information is coming from a credible source, such as the CDC. The town of Bruce is now under a curfew. It will be from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. That's until further notice. The restriction does not apply to residents going to or from early morning work. Bruce Mayor Rudy Pope says the square is closed to group gatherings. Pope also asked any restaurants to move to takeout only. The Mississippi Department of Health has not reported any cases of coronavirus in Calhoun County as of yet. Macon leaders are also issuing new rules beginning this evening. Retail businesses, clubs, organizations, places of worship, or other gatherings will be limited to 10 people. All restaurants must switch to to-go or curbside. Grocery stores, discount retail stores, banks, health clinics, hospitals, nursing homes, convenience stores, and laundromats are exempt. Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton has issued an executive order to close all non-essential businesses and mandate city residents to shelter in place. The actions were taken to help slow the spread of the coronavirus, but local attorney says the executive orders could mean big legal troubles for the city. WCBI's Allie Martin breaks it all down for us.
The phones at City Hall have been busy as residents, business owners, and workers want to know if they are impacted by the mayor's executive orders.
From the appropriate authorities.
On Saturday, an auction at the Tupelo Furniture Market prompted Mayor Jason Shelton to issue an executive order limiting the size of public gatherings. Before his executive order, Mayor Shelton had encouraged people to follow CDC recommendations limiting the size of crowds.
It really increased public awareness to the fact that the recommendations that were already in place at that time were not being followed. It showed as a city we have to take mandatory action.
That's what happened later in the day when an executive order from Mayor Shelton ordered non-essential businesses to close, and a shelter-in-place order was imposed on Tupelo residents except for necessary travel. Jim Wade is a trial lawyer who has concerns over the executive orders. Wade says by forcing businesses to shut down without providing compensation, the city is violating the U.S. Constitution.
No business can be interrupted, stopped, taken over by the government, except by paying just compensation. It's been applied in the most extreme cases. For example, started out in the Civil War when the federal government would go take ships from private owners to use temporarily in the war. The United States Supreme Court said that's unconstitutional. It cannot be done.
Those executive orders were hammered out over the weekend at City Hall during conference calls and meetings with city council members, staffers, and the city attorney. The city's legal counsel says extreme measures were needed to hopefully stem the spread of the coronavirus.
We swell to a population of 80,000 every day here in Tupelo. Not all those people are our residents, and so we're the hub of the region, and this thing, you can't do nothing. We've got to start somewhere, and we're doing that day by day.
How will stuff be in? The current executive order is in place through midnight Sunday. It could be extended depending on the number of cases in the area and state. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
An area lawmaker is calling Governor Tate Reeves' decision to not order a statewide shelter in place is the right call. State Senator Chad McMahon said Mississippians should follow CDC guidelines, including social distancing, frequent hand washing, and use of hand sanitizer, and staying home if you're sick. But he believes there is no need for a statewide order forcing people to stay in their homes.
The needs of Tupelo and Lee County may be completely different from those of Warren County or Vicksburg or Hattiesburg or Gulfport. So right now, local control is the best, and Vice President Pence said it best yesterday. We want local action with state direction and federal support.
McMahon has been in frequent contact with schools and local businesses as local, state, and federal officials look at ways to stem the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, the Lamar County Courthouse and all annex buildings are now closed. Today, the Lamar County Commission declared a state of emergency there. The commission also voted to close all county-owned buildings and properties. Employees will still be working and able to help residents. So far, one case of COVID-19 has been found in Lamar County. There are 157 cases of the coronavirus in Alabama.
Otherwise, we've had a gloomy afternoon, lingering rain showers after those morning storms we had around here. So overcast in Columbus and Tupelo, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, cloudy as well. We've got temperatures in many spots in the lower 60s and still a few scattered showers out there from east of Eupora to Aberdeen and Houston. And those will be expected here for this evening. Temperatures in the 60s, I think will fall down to around 60 overall tonight. After midnight, probably after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, storms start to erupt as a warm front moves from south to north across the area. Some of those storms could be locally heavy later on tonight into the wee hours of the morning. Tomorrow up to around 80 additional strong to severe storms possible in the afternoon. I'm back with your full forecast coming up.
There are now more than 250 cases of confirmed cases, that is, of coronavirus in Mississippi. Late today, Noxubee General Hospital Administrator Danny McKay confirmed a positive case in the county. The State Department of Health says the agency is seeing a jump in cases with more testing taking place across the state by the health department and private labs. 56 of Mississippi's 82 counties are reporting cases, according to the State Department of Health website. In addition to Noxubee, there are cases in Chickasaw, Clay, Etowamba, Lafayette, Lee, Monroe, Oktibbeha, Pontotoc, Union, Webster, and Winston counties. Of course, Lowndes County, the Columbus Air Force Base, confirms today one of the Lowndes County cases is on the base. The patient has been in self-quarantine for the past 10 days. The patient was not tested at the clinic on base. One death has been reported so far in Hancock County. As COVID-19 continues to spread across Mississippi, emergency responders are on the front line. Our Stephanie Poole takes a look at what the response has been like and what new precautions they're taking to stay safe. She joins us now live with more. Stephanie.
That's right, Joey. With 5 positive cases in Tupelo County, EMT workers tell me they are taking extra precautions to contain the virus and keep people safe as much as possible. On a typical day for OCH Regional Medical Center, EMT services get 20 calls per day. However, Director of Emergency Services Michael Hunt says with the fear of COVID-19 is actually lowering the amount of calls to just 5.
I think people are listening. They're not calling unless they're absolutely they're in distress.
Hunt believes it's due to people not wanting to possibly contract the virus in highly populated areas.
And that's what we recommend. If you have of course, if you have a trauma incident, we want to be called immediately and we respond immediately. If you have flu-like symptoms, you need to call your physician. Don't come to the emergency room or don't call 911 unless the person's in respiratory distress.
However, when someone is in need, there's a necessary protocol all EMTs must follow.
There's questions that we're asking, you know, have you had fever in the last 24 hours? You currently have fever. Have you been exposed to anyone that's been tested?
EMS Assistant Director Shedrick Hogan says paramedics also go the extra mile to protect themselves too.
You know, of course, we take the appropriate precautions. We suit up, we glove up, we have gowns, we have all the protective clothing that we wear. Because again, we don't want to infect ourselves because again, we're the front line people that goes out and actually help these patients. We're going to continue to also clean our equipment once we get back to make sure there's no any type of residual effect or residual something that's in the back of our truck. So, you know, again, safety for us, but we are here for the public.
Hunt says all ambulance providers in the Golden Triangle will discuss how these techniques could work while treating patients.
We do have a mutual aid agreement with each adjoining county. What we're going to do in this time of crisis is try to utilize every resource we have, and this isn't an individual Tupelo or Starkville or Lowndes County. This is this is our area.
Hunt says this meeting should help first responders with supplies, cleaning, and treatment while being dispatched. All workers will continue to use these practices with the threat of coronavirus still present. For now, reporting live in Columbus, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Like many medical facilities, OCH Regional Medical Center has been facing a shortage of protective equipment in an effort to help those healthcare workers. Some residents are cranking up their sewing machines. 2 women in Starkville created a page called Starkville Sew Strong to coordinate with others in the community who are willing to help sew face masks. Organizers say OCH has roughly a 2-week supply of masks left.
It started with the Girl Scouts. So Girl Scout Troop 20320 first got really excited and we reached out to OCH, and then we found others had also reached out. So we combined forces and we started posting on Facebook, and immediately people started getting really excited.
If you'd like to help, we have some resources on our website, WCBI.com. The ongoing outbreak has a Columbus restaurant changing up its business model for the first time. Being Cafe on Main isn't just serving up plate lunches. The staff is helping people stock up on food and other supplies they may not be able to find in the grocery store. Customers will be able to buy casseroles and soups, and they can even find bread, milk, and toiletries. Doors are open from 11 to 12 for senior citizens. The general public can shop from 1 to 2.
Yesterday we cooked around 40 casseroles and we sold them all out. So actually we're had our cooks here again this morning, and they cooked them again. And as the demand comes, we will actually bring in more from our food vendors. We're in close contact. When we order today, we'll have everything here tomorrow.
The restaurant will continue this shopping availability for as long as possible. We'll have more news after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. Emory police report 2 recent arrests, including a man accused of carrying a lot of drugs. 49-year-old Calvin Baskin of Okolona is charged with trafficking a controlled substance and possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Officers say he was arrested after a traffic stop. Baskin is also on federal probation. He remains in jail on a $100,000 bond. In an unrelated arrest, 49-year-old William Rush of Columbus is charged with burglary of an auto. Rush was released from jail on a $10,000 bond. In Lee County, 2 people face charges after a child is found playing in a roadway. 29-year-old Crystal Cooksey is charged with public intoxication and 4 counts of contributing to the neglect of a child. 31-year-old Kenneth Dwayne Bass is charged with felony child abuse. Bass is also a registered sex offender. Bass and Cooksey were taken into custody after Lee County deputies were called to a home on County Road 1057 for a welfare concern. Both suspects remain in jail at the Lee County Detention Center. All right, Keith, some showers around today.
Showers today, a little bit cool today.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're going to warm back up to around 80 or into the low 80s tomorrow. Look at our chart here. Fairly steady tonight, back to around 80 tomorrow. The trade-off will be the risk for storms. The wind picks up as well. We may see some wind gusts up to about 25. We'll talk about that storm threat next.
With Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some wet weather around the region today. Storms this morning, lingering showers this afternoon. A lot of cloud cover out there as well. Here's our Alpha Insurance camera, our time lapse from downtown Columbus here, looking to the north. Notice the clouds moving on through this afternoon. Some nuisance showers. Just when you thought the showers were done, we had another wave come on through parts of the region. And we still have some rain out there on radar. Really in Webster County, moving over towards Monroe County, Aberdeen, and West Point getting in on the action. So we have some steadier showers in some locales. Other locations like Louisville and Macon, you're dry at the moment. Up towards Pontotoc and Tupelo, not too active right now. But we've had this persistent band right across the midsection of the area today. We will likely have a better round of showers and storms later tonight, probably after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They will ride along this frontal boundary, lifting to the north. That boundary could kick off the storms that could produce a little bit of hail here. Oxford, Bruce, Pontotoc here, the northwestern counties of the area. Our forecast model picking up on the potential for a little bit of hail later on tonight with some of those stronger storm cells. Most spots will not see it. Lows tonight down to around 60. And for tomorrow, we mentioned this earlier, it's going to be a warm one. Highs up to around 80. We may see some wind gusts over 20 to about 25 miles per hour. So it's going to be a warm day tomorrow. We have this level 1, level 2 severe weather threat for Tuesday, primarily in the afternoon. The bullseye here, northeastern Mississippi, southern Tennessee, and northwestern Alabama. And we're still thinking wind and hail, the primary threats here. Tornado concern still on the low end. However, there's a warm front in the region. There's some wind shear going on. Can't rule out a tornado or 2 around here. So that would be tomorrow afternoon going into the early evening. It's always wise to have the WCBI mobile app to alert you on the latest weather. And of course, wall-to-wall coverage if we happen to see some warnings tomorrow afternoon. But the first round of storms will lift north of our area by mid-morning tomorrow. And then we're going to get into this relative lull, I think, from late morning into the early afternoon. That should allow temperatures to skyrocket back into the 70s and low 80s here. After 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll watch out for some of these storms that start to bubble on up around here. Some of those could be strong to severe. And then we may still see some showers or thunder showers going into the evening with the actual cold front moving on through here. So the front will move on through, maybe cloudy and cool conditions when we wake up on Wednesday, but we should become mostly sunny to partly cloudy Wednesday. Highs getting back into the lower 70s here, and even warmer temperatures as we get into your Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Temperatures getting back into the middle 80s. Lows warming back up into the 60s. So that's where we're headed here. Another chance for some showers and storms here going into your Saturday afternoon. Some of those could be on the hefty side. We'll watch that, of course. And then some cooler weather as we get into Sunday and Monday.
Well, are you ready for a little good news? We take a look at the lighter side when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. In today's Good News Report, our Scott Martin finds how one high school team finds a unique way to celebrate their coach. He joins us now live in the studio with more. Scott.
Yeah, Joy, the New Hope High School baseball team, they go from the diamond to a parade route to celebrate their favorite coach. Since school is out and sadly baseball season canceled, that means no practice. Well, the New Hope High School baseball team, they still wanted to wish their coach a happy birthday. So the team, they got in their cars and drove around the coach's home with signs, cowbells, and happy birthday chants. And lucky for us, the happy moment was caught on camera. His wife posted the video on Facebook, and viewer Leslie Newman, she sent it our way. The coach's wife said that it definitely made his day. And we end tonight with music. It makes us all feel a little bit better, and it makes Mama a lot happier when you get your piano practice in. So we're going to just share this with everyone. This is WCBI's very own pianist. If you didn't know, this is Emily, Andrea Self's daughter. Andrea posted this clip on her page sharing some of the happy news for all of us. Em is playing Oh, How I Love Jesus. We also know that Andrea sings too, so we'll be keeping an eye out on her page for a solo from her, hopefully, in the coming days. We'll have a last look at your forecast when we come back.
Some showers and storms could be strong here on Tuesday, 80 degrees, a little bit cooler Wednesday, 73, and then look Thursday and Friday back into the mid-80s. Saturday, a chance for some afternoon storms, some of which could be on the stronger side too. So still in the 80s here, 4 out of the next 7 days in the 80s, then we'll fall back into the 60s here Sunday and Monday, Joey. So a bit of a roller coaster ride, some strong storms in there, but we'll get through it just fine.
Yeah, springtime in Mississippi. Just because there's a virus, that doesn't mean there's not strong storms, right?
That does not matter at this point.
All right, thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.